BookTube, it's Louise the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, wherever it is you are and whatever it is you're doing. Wherever it is you are and whomever you're doing it with. I say, yes. Hello. Hello, BookTube. I'm back, and as you can see, I am slightly better than I was. Yes, I am less swollen. My glands have gone down. I became kind of one head to shoulder in kind of neck swellage of all my glands, but it's gone now. I actually have a chin. But I am still sinusy. That's the illness update for December 2018. Yes, you're welcome. Weather update. Do you know, we had sun 5 minutes ago and it's gone. So the light's not great, which I think is about standard for this time of the year. I think it is every week. I'm going to come along and go, it's gone a bit grey. Although we did have sunshine for about 5 minutes. The husband has been drawing back the curtains each day and going, it's Christmas grey, because it has just been grey. We've not had a lot of rain, but boy, is it grey out there. Yes. So here we are. We're in that weird bit between Christmas and New Year. How was your Christmas? If you celebrate it, if you don't celebrate it, how was your Tuesday? Was it a good Tuesday? Did it kind of meet your expectations for Tuesdays, or did it feel more like a Monday, or surprisingly like a Thursday? Well, I mean, how was it? I've got a friend who has a colour for every day of the week. So if you said to her Tuesday, she would have a colour come into her mind. There's a particular type, isn't there? There's a particular way that some brains work, where they associate colours with words. Days of the week is one of her thing. And when she said it, somebody else went, I have exactly the same, although they had different colours. Interesting, I thought, if you're me. So yes, we had a very nice time. I must admit, didn't feel great on Christmas Day. And we were travelling up the country to stay with some relatives. We're actually staying in a hotel, spending the whole day and evening with relatives, and then spending the following morning with them, which was lovely, and it was a big family get-together. Unfortunately, several members of the family are Howard Hughes-esque germaphobes, so you can imagine when I walked in and went, hello, everybody went, oh. But one of them actually recoiled from me. I went, Merry Christmas, and he went, oh! Literally ran out the room. It was nothing like feeling welcome. Nothing like feeling welcome whatsoever, but I can understand. I did sound truly terrible. And I couldn't say I wasn't infectious. My laughter was, of course, as it always is. So there were periods of the day where I was like, ha! You could literally see my battery go flat. But I just shoved myself in a corner with my knitting and was quietly sat there, and the day was fine. But I am definitely on the mend. I'm on the mend. It doesn't sound like it, but I am. I'm on the mend. I can see a future where I'm not going to be ill, and it will be great. It will be great to be there. So how are you? Did Father Christmas, if he brought you presents, did he bring you the presents that you wanted? Father Christmas did very well. Do you like my earrings? Yes, I have skull earrings. And a skull cardigan. Oh yeah, so Father Christmas knows me very well. He knows what I like. He also brought me 2 books, one of which has just fallen down. So, excuse me. I'm back. Did you miss me? So I shall show you those 2 books in a minute, one of which I'm already reading. For this is Friday the 28th, and that means, oh yes, it is Friday Reads. It's Friday Reads. It's that bit between Christmas and New Year when nobody knows what day of the week it is. It's Friday Reads. Yes, it's Friday Reads. It's the last Friday Reads of 2018. I will be continuing it in 2019, should you wish to come along and chat and tell me what you've been reading. So thank you so much to everybody that watched the book Advent that I did for you for the 24 days leading up to Christmas Day. That was so lovely. I got some lovely comments, especially on the last one. So that is absolutely marvellous, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have to admit, quite glad I'm not doing it anymore, because it was a hell of a day when I actually recorded it all in one day, apart from the last one, which I recorded on the 23rd, which was unfortunate because I was sounding awful on that day, but it was lovely to talk to you on that day anyway. So yes, I recorded it all in one day, and I hope that I kept my enthusiasm up. Those 24 books, actually, there was over 24 books, because one or 2 days had more than one book in them. I do still feel passionately about all of those books, that I really recommend them for different reasons and for different types of readers, and I really loved hearing people say, oh, I've read that one, or I haven't read that one, or your enthusiasm caught me, or I've heard of that. And I thought it was really lovely, so I appreciate every single person that watched the one. Thank you so much for that. But it was quite nice to think, yes, I'm not looking at my shelves going, oh, I'll recommend that, I'll recommend that, or thinking about that again. Although I did really enjoy it, and maybe I will do smaller series of book recommendations in that way. I quite like the short, sharp recommendations, because I think you can sell a book, or you can recommend a book in a minute. I don't think you need hours to talk about it. If you want to talk about it for hours, then of course be my guest. And there are some books, of course, that I would chat about for an hour, but I don't necessarily think you recommend them in that way. So yeah, that was that. And what else have we been doing? Well, let me get on and do the Friday reads. Otherwise, this is going to be a long video, and you don't want that. Don't want that. No, my breath doesn't want that. So, what did I read? What I've read? What have I read? I read, actually physically read. I had this to read, and I was thinking about reading it. There we go. Can I show you this? Is it that way? Yeah, there we are. Lost Girls, an Unsolved American Mystery by Robert Kolker. So this is a non-fiction, true crime story. It is unsolved. It's about the bodies that were discovered on Long Island. Quite recently discovered on Long Island, and they were all, as I was brought up to call them, ladies of the night. Prostitutes, I believe, is the modern word for it, or escorts. Escorts? I don't think they escort you anywhere. Maybe to paradise. I don't know. But yes, they're ladies of the night. I just like, are there ladies that only go out at night? Are there ladies of the day and then ladies of the night? So it was my mum used to always say, they're ladies of the night. And I still find myself saying it, unfortunately. So yes, I don't sound old-fashioned at all. No, I'm up with this modern lingo. So yes, it's a true crime story about that. I did enjoy it. It was a very easy read, and it had lots of detail. The only thing I would say is, to begin with, it is showing this. Tells you the stories of these lost girls. These women. They're all young women. They're all in their early 20s, who meet their end, obviously, with the same chap. And it is repetitive. It is repetitive and eye-opening and quite demoralising in some ways, because there kind of are themes, and I suppose that's the point of the book, is that there are these people that go into escort agencies, or they get. It's just some of the decisions they make just break your heart, and also the positions that they find themselves in through no fault of their own break your heart. And hearing one story after another, I did appreciate the fact that he focused on the victims, not the perpetrator, because too much quite often is focused on the perpetrator and victim blaming, and there was none of that in this. But it was actually really quite a hard read for that. Very eye-opening, but a hard read, I have to say. And also, I would suggest not reading it if you've got a temperature and you're reading it in bed, because you don't feel very well, because then your dreams take on a certain hue and a certain kind of discourse, which might not be fun. So one of my nights I was with these girls, and it wasn't Not fun. Not a good night, that one. But it was a good story, and I did really, really a good book, not a story. A good story, good book in the fact that I enjoyed the writing. I thought it was, I liked the focus on the victims and their relations. I liked the spotlight it showed about how we can get very focused on the perpetrator, perhaps to the detriment of the victims, and also the kind of disposable nature of these lives, that they tend to be, well, because they were ladies of the night, they were basically asking for it. They were, there's no kind of discourse about what the people that use their services, perhaps we should look at them. So, but it was really good for that. So if you like true crime, I do recommend it. Not an easy read, but I did read it. I've also done listening. There wasn't masses of reading over kind of Christmas and what have you, but I did listen to an Agatha Christie. That'll surprise you, won't it? I listened to an Agatha, Elephants Can Remember. So this is an Hercule Poirot mystery with Ariadne Oliver, who's a mystery writer, and she kind of drives the story. This, I hate to say, is not one of the best. And I remembered when I started, because I thought, I haven't listened to that one. I think I've read it, of course, and I've seen an adaptation of it, but I haven't read it for a long time. So I'll pick it up and listen to it as an audiobook, because they were on special offer on Audible in UK. All the Agathas are reduced, so I picked up one or two, and I picked up this one, and I remembered about 20 minutes into it, I thought, oh yes, I remember why I haven't read this one recently and why I haven't listened to it before. The plot is very slow. It is very slow and not one of the best, I have to say. I do love Hercule in it, and I do like Ariadne Oliver in it, and as a character studies, it's very good. It also refers back to other crimes that Hercule's solved, which if you haven't read them would be plot spoilery, kind of. But it is very slow. There isn't a lot that goes on. It's about solving something that happened 8 years ago. No, maybe more than that. Maybe 10 years ago. So there's a lot of trying to have conversations with people, and it is repetitive. And I just, even I, who adores Dame Agatha, struggle with this one. It's not one of the best, and if I think you can leave it to one of the last, maybe get it over and done with, but yeah, not one I would particularly recommend. But it's Agatha, and it was Hugh Fraser reading it, and so I still, there was still enjoyment to be had, but you had to look for it rather than just lying back and enjoying it. Ladies of the Night again. So what am I reading now? Well, let me show you the two books that I got. Father Christmas bought me. Father Christmas was kind of given prompters for this, because it's very difficult for anybody to buy me books because of the amount of books I've got. And of course, if I want to read it that desperately, either I've gone to the library or I've got it. So it's very tricky for people to buy me books. So I hinted by sending links to Father Christmas, and he bought me Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. Reader, I Murdered Him, which is a pastiche / thriller on Jane Eyre, which is one of my most favouriteest books. Oops, and that's ruining the colour balance. If I do that, that's better. So I mean, I utterly adore Jane Eyre. So I struggle sometimes with retellings and books based on classics that I adore, because I never feel, well, you're never going to be as good as what I love, so I might as well reread that. There is a part of me that always kind of goes, nah, however much they can be well written, there is part of me that goes, nah, it's not as good. But this is following Jane Eyre's path in such a different way, and with so many nods and winks and and it is such a good pastiche. I am thoroughly enjoying it. So I've started reading this. I'm on page 186 out of 400 and odd. So I am nearly halfway through this, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Yes, I wouldn't say it's one of my best books of the year, but I definitely am loving it so far. So that's Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. And then the other book that I got, which I think everybody's read apart from me, is Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire. Now, I didn't buy this for myself because it's a slim little hardback. It's 180 pages, which is not a bad thing. But it is not cheap, and I don't think it has a British publisher, so it's an American import, which keeps the price high. So I've been looking to see if the price would ever be dropped, or it would be published in the UK, in which case it would start to become more affordable. But it wasn't. So I didn't ever feel like I could really justify it. I don't know why, but I think because I have no idea whether I'm going to like it, and it's quite expensive. I thought, well, Father Christmas might want to treat me to it, and very nicely he did. He said, don't you worry, I have connections, I shall get it for you. And he did, so I've got this. So this will be something that I will read in the next day or two, because I am on 98 books for the year. Normally I don't care how many books I read in the year, but I'm so close. So I've got to read 2 books by next Tuesday. Will I be able to do that? Yes, I'm halfway through this, so I'll be fine, so I'll read that. And then I'm also, and I'm sure and I can read a book. Don't worry. The other thing I'm listening to is, it's an Agatha. It's Hickory, Dickory, Dock by Agatha Christie, which is another Hercule Poirot. Do you ever get that? Well, something reminds you of a book that you've read, and you therefore have to read it. You almost get this kind of feeling of longing. There has to be a word for that. There has to be a word. When somebody reminds you of a book that you've enjoyed in the past, and you get this kind of pang of kind of homesickness for it. There is this weird longing to be back there. I do sometimes get it with Harry Potter, but you want to be in the book somehow, and it's kind of something mentions it, or remind you of the cover or the plot, something, and you get this kind of, and it's a feeling I have about certain books, and I want to go back. And something reminded me of this, and I was like, I need to listen to that. I need an audiobook, because they're cheaper at the moment. So I've got this. Isn't this great cover? I love these Fontana editions. You can't get hold of them now. I must keep a look in the charity books, but I don't think charity bookshops even cover them. But they have the best creepy covers going. Look at that. It's grim, isn't it? I was showing, excuse me, I was showing some of the husband's son this morning, and he was like, "Oh God, they're awful." And I'm like, "They're brilliant, aren't they?" My favourite Agatha editions. So there we go. That's what I've got to show you. That's it. That's all I've got. Not bad though. How long are we? Oh lordy, I've chatted away, but it is that time. Anyway, I need to go. Oh, we've got a bit of blue sky outside, because we're going to go out in about 5 minutes, once I finish recording this, I think. Once everybody's got their shoes on, and we're going to go for a tiny walk, and hopefully that grey cloud is just grey cloud and hasn't got designs on us. And we'll have a little walk round. Get a bit of fresh air. I've really not felt like it up until today, but I think it would be good. Excuse me. Oh, my ears just clicked. I can hear again. I've been having that as well. Do you ever have that when suddenly your ears are blocked and you get used to kind of the muffled world, and then suddenly they click and everything goes into sharp focus? Wow! I didn't realise quite how loud the television was. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Oh, television. That reminds me. We're halfway through watching Agatha and the Matter of Murder. Agatha and the Murder of Truth, the Truth of the Murder, something like that. It was on Channel 5 before Christmas, and they're repeating it as well. So we're halfway through that, thoroughly enjoying it, and it's a reimagining of what happened, completely different take on what happened in Agatha Christie's A Missing 11 Days, in 1926. And it's a brilliant one. We're really enjoying the style of that. And then we've got to look forward to, got recorded, and we haven't watched it yet, the ABC Murders with John Malkovich and Rupert Grint, which I imagine is going to be terrible. Not because of, John Malkovich, people. I mean, it's like Sir Kenneth Branagh, when he did Hercule. It was like, no. Anyway, I will watch it, naturally. I have to. It is a point of honour to watch all of these things. So yes, I shall report back. I don't know whether that's worldwide or it's just in the UK. But there we go. So anyway, much season's greetings to you, much love to you, and I hope it's okay. Some people find this time not great, and I can understand that. I was talking to somebody yesterday who is very much taking it day by day, and my only thing was that I just hope you're gentle with yourself. Do as much as you can, whatever you need to do. Some days it's just, you need to just get through them, and I send my love to anybody that is feeling like that. And I send my love to you anyway. And that's it, Friday Read persons. I shall see you next over the other side when we're all completely different, because it's 2019 and it's a new year, new you. No. And so, so I shall see you in about a week's time for the next Friday Reads. This has been great. I look forward to doing it again.